Oh, this is the real estate agent, the one that put me on this deal. Hey, Brian.
Roger, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Doing great. Just wanted to call and congratulate you on your new purchase.
Ah, thanks, man. I'm so excited about it. I'm gonna make something amazing over there.
I think it's going to work out great.
All right, thanks, Brian.
All right, take care now. Thank you. Bye-bye.
It's official. We closed on the deal. So just so y'all know, the price on this piece of property was $1 million. I had to come up with all the fees and all that with $225,000 of my money. And then I financed $800,000. So it was a little over $1 million, but that included some fees and all that kind of stuff. Every single time I do a project, buy a piece of property, basically anything that I've ever done, I've never known how I'm gonna come up with the money. It's always, I put the deal together and then I go find the money, however that works out. Hey everybody, my name is Roger Sharp. This is our first video on Roger's Business Adventures. Some of you might know me from Restaurant Millionaire, but this is the first video on what we're going to do with this new acquired property that I was able to get. So this is it, right behind you. It's 7 acres, right on the California 101 freeway, in between Paso Robles, California and San Miguel, California. It's just outside of Paso Robles, in the Paso Robles city limits. The property is zoned rural agricultural, so that works for what I'm gonna be trying to do here. It does have 2 houses on it on the south end of the property, that those will be rentals, and I'm gonna try to create something amazing over here on this 7 acres. It's a bit run down, a bit neglected, lots of landscape overgrowth, but I'm super excited about it. I got the keys today. That's always an exciting day when you buy a piece of property. Let's go look at it and see what we got to deal with and run some imagination. Part of why I love this property is because of this building, which it's, you know, kind of a rundown building, but it used to be an antique store and probably a couple other things through its history, but I know it as an antique store. I just now noticed there's 2 addresses here. You really have to use your imagination on this piece of property. Check this out, I want to come show you something. Anybody in here? I just thought I would check. A working toilet in an outhouse. When's the last time you saw a working toilet in an outhouse? It really works. Go ahead, try it out. Part of the interesting situation of this building, although it's a super old building, there's also an apartment on this end of the property. This would be the north end of that building. And this is what you're seeing right here. It looks like somebody has a patio and whatever, but it's attached to this older building, which is what we'll call the barn for now. Now, part of the situation over here with this entire project is I literally have no idea what I'm doing. I've done no farming, no planting, no nothing. I've been in business forever, but as far as those skills, I don't have nothing. So ChatGPT is my best friend as far as what I need to do. So I'll be watching a lot of videos and trying to figure this place out. Didn't use AI to find the property. I just happened to be driving by one day. The next day I submitted an offer. So there you have it. That's how it works. Sometimes you just gotta be lucky. I'm gonna brace you before you come in here. Part of the deal was I did a 30-day escrow and I bought it as is. They didn't want to take anything out. They didn't want to move anything. They didn't want to deal with anything. So that was part of my deal. Buy it as is. So here we go. The door sounds good. Wow. Look at all this stuff. Holy cow. I love this building. I think this building feels good. It's really, really a critical part of what I think needs to happen on this property. But yeah, look at all this stuff. Machinery, old stuff, tools, just as is. I don't know what I'm gonna do with all this stuff. I was talking to the realtor that there's people around here that they'll come in and they'll organize it and put prices on it and sell it, and then whatever doesn't sell, they get rid of it. So I'm not one to take all this old stuff and do anything with it. I wouldn't know if there's value or not. But I think if it got all cleared out and it got all fixed up, maybe the roof leaks, maybe it doesn't. I'll see when it rains. I told you gotta have a vision on this place. My whole thinking is that I'm gonna make this some kind of family attractions. Like I wanna have a pumpkin patch, and I wanna try to grow giant pumpkins, anywhere from 1,000 pounds on up, shooting for a 2,000 pound pumpkin. This is all what's in my head. I want to have possibly a rideable train that goes around the property. There's a couple other little elements that we're looking at. Apple blasters, where you take a whole apple and you put it in a cannon and then you shoot targets. Camping is supposed to be part of this deal. People could come out here and camp. Possibly animals via something like a petting zoo, something like that. So anyways, these are all parts of the concept. Now, this particular building, I believe, could actually be some kind of retail that's a part of that, whether it's food sales or local products or part of the farms, whether it's we sell the pumpkins in here or who knows what the hell else we're growing. But so yeah, farming is a part of this whole project. Again, I've never farmed. I haven't even grown a plant in a pot. So I'm counting on ChatGPT to help me through the process. That's what I envision this building now. You gotta really have a vision to look around all this crap. For some reason, whenever I do projects, I always get into a mess, right? Which means it's always a ton of work. It's just the story of my life. So I never look at it as a bad thing. It's just part of everything. So for me, I just look at it like, okay, I just got to come clean this up. And then I put it down a plan of what I want to have, wherever I want it. And then we just go from there and see how it all works out. So that's the inside. Now we're gonna go walk around the property and see what else we can figure out and how we're gonna do it and where we're gonna grow some pumpkins and where anything else might be. It's all this messy, just with different mess, whether it's weeds or overgrown plants or whatever. It all has to be dealt with. So let's go take a look. So right here, over here, where this van is and all this will be part of what I figure will be tied to this old barn building that will be an interactive part of the sales of whatever I'm growing, right? That's kind of what I figure right here. Again, I got no plan, I'm just thinking. The neighbor's fence across the street is fairly close to the street. But if you look at this piece of property, look how far back the fence line is from the street. It makes me wonder, like maybe the fence isn't in the right place, or maybe it's because PG&E, I don't know. And then I say, well, you see all these weeds here, is that my responsibility, or is that city's responsibility, or is that county's responsibility? Who's responsible for these weeds right here and keeping them down so, you know, there's no such thing as fires around here? Come on, let me show you. Look at this fence latch. Ah, come on. Son of a... My gate skills are already in trouble. All right, let me go get something from my truck. I don't have a screwdriver, but I got a couple pairs of pliers. Damn fence. All right, let's try this again. When I looked at the property, I was able to get in here. And of course, these are the only tools I have in my truck. It's like one of those puzzles, right? Like, oh, I might get it. It seems so simple, right? You just, oh my God. I act like we have gold in here. Oh, wow. That was the first time I tried to get in my own gate and I hated it. Let's hope it's not always gonna be that difficult. Let's go check out where I'm thinking of having the pumpkin patch. So this is it right here. This is about 3.5 acres. It goes all the way down to the fence over there. And this right here is where I'm thinking that all the pumpkins are gonna be. And then it's gonna be tied in with this area here, which is not gonna be like this, but this is it. I have no idea how big this piece is, and I have no idea how many pumpkins I can plant here. I'm gonna ask ChatGPT that. But again, part of the appeal to me of this property is being right next to the freeway, being visible, easy on, easy off. Down there, we're gonna put a big mountain. That's the vision. We don't know if we can or we should or it's cost effective or anything else, but we're gonna put a big mountain down there. And then hopefully there'll be a rideable train going around the whole property, including the back, which we're gonna go look at next. But yeah, right here is the pumpkin patch. I haven't measured it. In fact, I've never even walked down to the end of the property. Should we walk down there? I'm gonna have a guy come over here and do some soil samples to see what we're working with. This dirt has been dissed at one time, and I don't think it's been that long ago. Possibly this year or maybe late last year, something like that. I also don't know what the situation is on when a power pole's in the middle of your property. What has to happen then? We got this telephone pole that's right in the middle of the property, which is kind of weird, right? Because there's a pole right there. Why would they need another pole here? Like, this doesn't even look like it's been here that long. Nothing growing here. So is this like a new damn telephone pole or what? That's weird. Anyways, right here, we're at the fence line. So now we look back and look at how far that is. That's quite a bit. That would seem like quite a bit of pumpkins. Once I identify the property lines with a surveyor, I'll know how much area I have in to create a feature of some sort. I'm thinking of we'll make a mountain of some sort, maybe some big rocks, maybe some signage, maybe the train goes through it. Who knows? Those are all just thoughts and ideas that I just came up with. I have no idea. Maybe there'll be a hot air balloon on top. We can do anything. That's one thing about me and my team. We can do anything. If we can dream it, we can build it. We got the freeway right here, right? So regardless of what we do here, if you go up and down the 101, north or south, you will know about us somehow, whether it's through signage, lights, whatever it might be. I don't know shit about growing anything, but it looks like a pretty big chunk of property. And if we need more, we can go around the other side. So let me show you the other side, what it looks like. So again, that was the main pumpkin patch over there, right? But we can continue it on all the way as far as we want to go. If we need more pumpkins, you know, to be grown, or we don't feel it's big enough, or it's just a thought. Let's just call it 6 acres, because there's a couple houses over there probably on 1 acre. But you know, 6 acres is, you know, it's quite a bit, especially when you start walking it in the weeds. So this right here is the back of the antique store, or whatever the hell it was. That's again another appealing part to me, that it's been like that for many years. And I don't even know what the sign says now. It looks like it was 17 different businesses or something. But even the old signs are cool. But my thought is I want to make it really cool, something that kind of stands out and people would think is nice. Like, this whole thing is supposed to be an experience from start to finish. I just noticed this big pile of brush here. I wonder where that came from. Well, I'm sure it's from this land. I guess they just pushed it all over here. It just looks like a bunch of brush, I guess. I wonder what that came from. Doesn't look like they wiped anything out around here. So let me show you the vineyard. Oh, maybe it's these trees. I'll rip all that out. Dead trees. I never noticed it. Anyways, here's a little vineyard here. Watch, I'm gonna show you what some guy told me. Look, see these things? I didn't know this. I'm sure everybody else knows it, but these are all the little grapes. See that? So basically, like, it's like that until it gets pollinated, I guess. Turns into these little, but look at how many grapes are on this tree here, this plant, I should say. Look at it, they're everywhere. That's awesome. These are a little bigger. Again, I don't know anything about growing plants or anything, but it's kind of fascinating. So I'm learning a lot, right? Which is all part of the process. I guess I could stay home and watch Netflix or something, but it's way more interesting, all this kind of stuff. Now, with this property, look at what I got. I got solar, which again, I don't have solar anywhere in my houses or anything. I know nothing about it, but I guess I gotta learn. I don't know if this is powering this side of the property, and then there's more solar over there and that powers that. I don't know what the situation is. I got a water well. Everything here is on a water well, no city water. I have 2 wells, one here and one up by the main house. So this whole part, pumpkin patch and all that, will be operating on that agricultural well. So this well, I'm assuming, runs this side of the property. So that's what I'm gonna use for the agriculture stuff. Let's see. See how the water looks. Look at that. Right out of the ground. No water bill, no nothing. You see these, I don't know if they're bushes or trees. I don't know what the hell these things are, but they're like plants gone wild over here. Definitely got to cut all that back. You know, is that a tree or what the hell is this going on here? But there's a lot of it, pretty crazy. So again, we're back at the other side by the freeway. This part of the property drops down, I'm gonna say 15 feet, maybe 20 feet below the highway. And over there on the other side of the property, it is up close to the highway. So this is a pretty good chunk right here. Lots could go on around here as far as whatever our imagination can come up with. I don't think we're gonna plant over here unless we change our minds. I think all the growing will be on that side of the property. Over here, it'll be more, let's say, funky art, things for people to look at, take photos, part of the train, camping, fire pits. That's kind of what I'm thinking for this side of the property. But again, that's my first day. This is definitely the widest point of the property over here from street to the freeway. We got some containers full of stuff that we have to deal with. Just old stuff, probably all trash. That's what happens when you buy a property as is, which is all right with me. I'll deal with it. I'm used to dealing with lots of problems. Looks like they had some other containers over here too, but these two are good, little shop area. So, you know, if you look back and you look around the property over here, like there's quite a bit of space, right, to do stuff with. Don't know if we'll keep the vineyard in or not. We're gonna lay it all out. We're gonna do a site plan. That's coming up, but not today. We got lots to do before that. These two things probably going to become our workshop area. We'll fence that in to where it doesn't look like containers, but that'll probably be where we keep our equipment, just things out of the way. Maybe it's already there, why not? So there's like 3 different levels to this property. It's like the higher level, which has a house, the lower level in this flat area, and then even lower where we're going to do the pumpkins. And here we are, we make it up top. Looks like they had a little small orchard of fruit trees here. I call it an orchard. What else am I going to call it? But now you can see we're right even with the freeway. And a lot of these trees kind of look dead, so we'll have to evaluate it. I don't know how these are surviving, but we're gonna figure it out in the next few days. Some of them look good, some of them don't. So I'm assuming maybe the drip irrigation's broken or something like that. But like a lot of these, I don't think so. It'd be like a small miracle if those come back. But we'll see. There's the 2 houses I mentioned, one here, one over there. But look at how overgrown and messy and everything it looks. So definitely got to do some landscape. I finally got my own chicken coop, which I never wanted, but you know, now I have it. So maybe we'll get some chickens. I don't know. Might as well, right? This is the back of the house. It's a nice house, just a lot of clutter, a lot of stuff. Look, we already have a place to do weddings. I'm kidding. All right, here we go. Around to the front. This is the front of the house. Lots of landscape has to happen, clean up, but we'll get there. This is the before picture, remember. This is the second unit, and I also got a flagpole. Never had a flagpole before, so there you go. Finally. Look how cool this is. It comes with its own fire hydrant. I don't know if it works or not, but it's cool. And look, this is the other solar. I'm assuming it's for this house. I guess I got a lot to find out, right? And then we got this silo over here. Let's see what's in here. It's got a nice lock on the door. Look at that. Maybe this is our next gift shop. Maybe. Or our next bar. Maybe. It's got the windmill with the water tank and more weeds. A lot of weeds out here. Weeds or bushes or whatever the hell you want to call them. Look at the driveway. Look how nice that is. Look at my neighbor's tractor. I'm jealous. I don't have one tractor. I gotta get myself a tractor. I've never had a tractor. Remember what I was telling you about the property line being set so far back? Like, okay, here's the driveway to the house right there, right? So if I wanted to, could I use this all for parking? Or is that owned by the city, county, or whoever else? I think I'll just park a bunch of stuff there and see what they say. That's usually the way I do everything. Here's another thing. So this thing is some kind of drainage, right? I'm assuming this is all city. which would make me think that somehow over here, the property line is gonna be over here. I wonder if it does go all the way back to that fence. I don't know. We got to find out, but this is new stuff. So that's it. This is my latest project, my latest ideas, my latest vision. So follow along and see how it comes out. Now I got to get back to my computer or my phone and find out where I can buy some giant pumpkin seeds. That's the next thing on the list. It is now May 3rd, 2026, and I gotta get those babies in the ground. Every video I've watched says you gotta plant them May 1st, so I'm late already.